Hey, friends. I was going to tell you about a moment I had the other day. I wrote it down, so I'm going to read it so that I won't miss anything and leave it out. All right. I had a sweet little moment the other day performing. This little girl came to me. She was probably 12, 13 years old. She told me she's a big fan, which I love that. And then she wondered if it'd be okay if she recorded the show on her phone because she loves my music and wants to get a live version of my song, The Big Bad Wolf. And she said that her mom told her she better ask. I was grateful and I was thrilled. I told her absolutely you can record the show. And I told her that I like the live version of The Big Bad Wolf better. Actually, the new version is something that's evolved over time. I didn't tell her that. I'm telling you that. And that I need to re-record it. And then I kind of thought about this. Do you guys remember? Maybe you do. That it was once taboo and even frowned upon to record a live performance. People went to great struggles to sneak in recording equipment to live shows at bootlegs. That's what they were called, bootlegs. The thought behind it was frowned upon a band, meaning that you might get kicked out if they caught you. It was the record industry did not want people to have a version of the songs that they couldn't charge you for. They didn't want free versions. They wanted you to pay for the original studio version. Bootlegs were massive. I'm talking massive in the 70s and 80s and the 90s and even into the early 2000s. Then pirating took over, Napster and LimeWire. People would trade or purchase these, though. Live shows, mostly via cassette tapes and then eventually CDs. You could hear your favorite songs performed in real life and just the studio recorded versions of them. I can't explain the mammoth business these bootlegs eventually became. And not necessarily that was good. The artists were not always compensated for, well, they were rarely compensated for bootlegs, but the artists cared less. The artists want the music to be out there. The record companies cared a lot, and they would go to great lengths to shut down places where they found bootlegs. But a lot of this was just done like mailing tapes through the mail, mailing CDs through the mail, mailing a check through the mail. It wasn't as easy to do as it is now. It wouldn't be as easy to track down like internet archives and whatnot. The argument on the artist side might have been that they weren't getting paid for the bootlegs, but a lot of artists like myself just want fans to hear the music any way they can. Trust me, there's nobody stealing from an artist as much as a record label was. For example, if a CD cost $15, the artist might receive $1 or $2 per album. That was standard, and then the label got the rest. And then the internet kind of killed it, which is why it's still killing it. What was once rare and hard to come by was now easily downloaded for free. You might even get a computer virus along with it. You guys remember LimeWire? Yeah, Napster. If you think about it, Spotify and the streaming services are the same thing now, except now we pay billionaires so we can actually not own the music. But alas, times change. But back to the happy bit, I was more than thrilled to know that I was getting bootlegged because she liked my live performance better than the studio recording. As an artist, I'm always thinking I like the live recording better, but it's hard for me anyway to get a polished live recording enough to be like, oh, I'm going to put this out. Being said, I actually record 99% of my live performances. I just do it for my own archives. I don't think anybody would be interested in them other than me, but I enjoy knowing somebody out there, especially somebody young, shares the enjoyment of reliving a live musical moment and listening to music for the pleasure of just listening to music again. This weekend, I have 9 hours of live music to perform, 3 today, 6 tomorrow. My goal is to not play the same song twice because that's boring. I don't like to bore myself in the middle of a show. So I've got the set list and I've got everything lined up to not play a single song twice unless I get a request for it, like The Big Bad Wolf. Yeah, bring your recorder because I will definitely change the lyrics. See you, friend.